If you're an entrepreneur and you can kind of think back to the first time you made your first sale and how hard that was because you had to get somebody to get engaged, willing to take a chance from you because they knew you didn't have much experience. And then finally they were like, okay, we will take a chance on you. And you made your first profitable sale. That is what it's like to jump and break into the federal space. It's very difficult to get a federal buyer to take a chance on you when you're unproven in the federal space, regardless of how much private sector experience you already have. Hi, I'm Todd Luttenegger, one of the owners of Easy 8A. We help people get federal contracts and help build their business, and our clients have had billions of dollars per year in federal sales. This is a very similar phone call that I have probably several times a year with different people that got into the 8A program and unfortunately didn't utilize their certification. Hello, this is Todd with Easy 8A. How can I help you? Hi Todd, our firm recently graduated from the 8A program, but we never had any sales, so we were hoping there was a way we could get an extension and maybe get another 9 years in the 8A program. Never had any sales? No, what I really say is, I'm so sorry, there's nothing we can do. You only get 9 years of program eligibility into the 8A program. That's what I thought was going to be the case, but it was worth a shot anyway, so thanks for your help. In this video, I'm going to go through the 6 ways that 8A firms can achieve sales. What's important about these 6 ways is that a lot of firms, because they struggle to break in, that they need to kind of keep these 6 things in their mind and kind of work different angles simultaneously. Now, what I'm not going to include in my list is a lot of times our clients will come in and they'll say, I'm already working with the federal government and I want to do X, Y, and Z with the 8A certification. Those firms are well on their way because they've already broken in and already have contacts within a federal agency. The same holds true as with firms that are actively working as subcontractors or large prime contractors in the federal space. They've already made inroads, they already have contacts within the agencies, and then they're going to be able to get contracts once they get 8A certified. So here are the 6 ways that a firm that doesn't have that advantage can break into the industry. And I'm going to back up a little bit first. There is about a 6-month window from the time in which you decide to get 8A certified, kind of are filing the application and getting it together, to the time you're awarded the 8A certification. In that period of time, it's a good idea to work, and maybe if you can get some inroads with a prime contractor as a sub, and maybe get a little bit of business under your belt, that can be a great way to start. But here's my list of 6. The first thing you should look at is, once you get 8A certified, you're going to be assigned an SBA Business Development Specialist. This specialist kind of is your liaison between the SBA and the federal government. And what you can get that person to do is send out letters of introduction on behalf of your firm to different federal agencies and the buyers within those agencies to let them know you've recently been 8A certified and to kind of give you a shot at federal contracts. Now, not all SBA business development specialists have the same kind of networking skills within the federal government or within your specific target agencies. In addition, not always are these letters effective. But once you get 8A certified, it is one of the things that we recommend all of our clients do, because a lot of times that builds that first sale that they need to be able to get into their initial agency. The second recommendation we have is that we work with our clients, but a lot of times clients can do this on their own. It's to build a list within the federal agencies of the people that you're going to target with lists. And so you build lists and email lists. This is all publicly available information. However, it does take a lot of time to assemble it if you're not aware of how to do so. So our firm does do that for our clients. Now, what's important to note is typically the person making the calls has to have a lot of product knowledge. So generally speaking, for a small business, that's a lot of times the owner. So the owner has to be willing to pick up the call and go back to making cold calls to be able to make that initial sale into the federal agencies. The third way in which an 8A firm can break in is through obtaining a GSA schedule. Now, a GSA schedule, one of the big benefits of having a GSA schedule contract is it lets everybody, for market research, that's kind of where all the federal buyers go, is the GSA schedule system. They look up your profile there because on SAM there's just too many firms to really be able to do a good sort and find good buyers. Well, on the GSA schedule system, there's an online bulletin board that federal buyers can use called GSA eBuy. And GSA eBuy, the beauty of it is it's filled with tons of small contracts that are constantly getting updated. And so you can bid on one of those small contracts and use that as the segue in terms of getting into that federal agency. So the big advantage of GSA eBuy when you're initially trying to sell or break into an agency is that access to that GSA eBuy that you can then use to make that initial sale into the federal government. Another big approach that we teach is that an 8A firm graduates from the 8A program after 9 years. So when a firm's in year 8, if you contact that firm, you can begin kind of building a relationship with that firm, and then through those relationships, that firm can begin doing joint ventures with your firm once they're out of the program and no longer has access to their clients. And through these joint ventures, that's a great way to break into the federal government. We like going after firms in year 8 because it's been our experience that when you go after firms in year 9 and beyond, it's kind of like going to the dance and trying to dance with somebody else's date. They typically stay with the person that they went to the dance with. So therefore, we find that year 8 and establishing those contacts early is kind of a critical piece. The next method we recommend is subcontractor registration with large federal prime contractors. So all of these large prime contractors have websites where you can submit a vendor registration. We do this a lot of time for our clients as part of a service we offer. But what we find reported back from those clients that do this is they generally get about one opportunity a year. So by submitting these online vendor registrations, it's probably the lowest cost bang for the buck marketing thing you can do in the federal space. The last thing that we teach our clients to do is to go after GWAC or IDIQ contracts. These contracts, they're government-wide contracts in a lot of cases. They provide access to large buckets of money. Your firm applies to get a position on these contracts. There's no guarantee that you're going to get sales. However, there is a social and inclusiveness element to each of these contracts. Therefore, they're looking to work with 8A firms, at least for some portion of the contract. So therefore, they can be a great place to start. And about half of the GWAC and IDIQ contracts don't have any type of prerequisite that you have done federal sales before. So those are the 6 ways that you can break into the federal space. You know, you just kind of keep having to hammer away at it until you get your first contract. Like in the commercial space, you're almost starting all over again. However, in the government space, obviously the $5.5 million on average is a huge sum of money. So therefore, staying after it is vitally important for your firm's success. Now I'm going to go over my super secret tip of the day on how you can get past that $5.5 million and get to a firm that's over 10 million in sales. And what we find with our clients is that obtaining GWAC and IDIQ contracts and continuously going after as many of those contracts that are available is really what's the difference maker. So we as a firm, because this is what drives the success of our clients, we stay on top of that with our clients. We actively support them by telling them about which GWAC and IDIQ contracts are becoming available so that they can make sure that they can either utilize us or bid on it themselves. But we find that that single action is what really separates the firms that kind of stall out at that $5 million point and the ones that go well beyond that in sales. So kind of to recap, it's very important that you break into the federal marketplace once you get your 8A certification as soon as possible, or things can stall out. You know, it usually takes somebody about 6 months after they receive their 8A certification to make that initial sales. And then from that point on, your firm should be off to the races. So hopefully this helps. And I definitely don't want to be getting that call from you that you are in year 9 and you're looking for some assistance at this point to get a continuation on your 8A. Thanks again. As always, we appreciate you watching this video. Please click the subscribe button if you like the content. Thanks again.